Okay, so next in this series is a thumbnail for a YouTube series or a podcast, but something that has a series with the same design, except that you may be changing out text and a few images. So what you need is a template and an easy way to make updates to a file without changing the original design. And that's what we're going to do here. So this is what I use for my inspiration. This is what we created, and this is what we're going to create in this video. So let's go ahead and start a new one. 1280 by 720, 150 resolution. And just to make it easier, I'm just going to go ahead and this is the reference. We're just going to bring it over as a template. Okay. So let's first get this solid color. This is what I want. All right. All right, first one, let's get the ellipse, this ellipse right here. Let's go ahead and put it on the ellipse. Hold down the shift key to get the size, and if you hold down the space bar, it allows you to move it. All right. So we'll get it close to the same size. That, and we'll move it so we can know what the color is here. Double click. I believe it's this dark color here. Okay. Press V to move this, to move it back. Okay. Good enough. All right. Let's go ahead and hide that. The next one is the circle here, and I'm going to go ahead and all right, close enough. This color doesn't make a difference. I will just go ahead, just for the purpose of this video, make it more like 50% gray. All right. Now I wanted a stroke on this. I think I put a stroke on it last time, so I'm going to double click, go to stroke. That's too big. Let's go to 7. All right, and let's go ahead. Sorry, let's change the color. And we're gonna go with this brighter yellow here. Okay. I think I may stay with that. We'll find out. Okay. The next is this graphic here, and that's just a rectangle. Shape like that, and same color as this, except now we have to put it underneath. So that's the basic design. So if we turn this off, you can see we have our basic design, and we have an image. Let me pull that image in. Okay, you can see I got this from unsplash.com. Just move that over. Resize it. It's fairly large here. Good. And I'm going to change the blend mode to multiply. All right. And I believe I dropped the opacity down a little bit. All right. There we go. Okay. So we have that in place. Now for the image. And the way I'm going to do this, I'm going to duplicate this layer here. So Control J to duplicate. I don't need the stroke on it. I'm just going ahead and remove that. Now that I have this, it is, and of course this should be underneath there. Okay. So here's my image. I'm going to right click on it because I'm going to convert it to a smart object. And the reason I'm using a shape to do that, because if I were to go in, let me double click on this. You can see now here is the image. So now from this point on, we won't put the image here. We'll just simply double click and drop the image in here. Okay. And so we will, let's say we want to bring our guy in. Let's all right. We want to bring him in, drop him in here. Control T. We do that. And now you simply clip to the image, close it, save it. And there you go. Now anytime you want to change the image, you just simply double click, you replace the image here. All right? And that's going to help us with the template idea. And we're going to call this, we'll cap and call it feature image. And to make it easier to find in our list here, we're going to change it to orange. So now we know that is where our guy is. And for the most part, we're done. Now let's go ahead and bring in all the titles. Turn that on. Now we have some alignment issues that we have to do, but again, we can do that by coming here. We're going to highlight all of the fonts, go to the move key and align it there. Okay, so now everything is aligned. Control D to deselect. Turn on our image. All right, so we're going to take all of this font, we're going to group it. We'll just call it text. Oops. We'll call it text. And we'll move it above everything. All right. All right. And as you can see, we need to move this over just a little bit to align it with that. All right. Okay. So the only thing I have left is my icon, or your logo, whatever your logo is. I pulled in a logo from, let's open this headphone logo. I just took that, resize it, put it about right there, and just put an overlay. Double click to bring up the layer style, color overlay, and select that color there. Okay. Right. Now when we turn on our image, there it is. Okay, so here's our text, and let's go ahead and color that green, because this is what we're changing. Okay, we can take the rest of this, everything else here, group it, and call it background. Now the only thing we have to do is change the text, and you can see that's green. Here's our feature image, and that's all we're changing. Guest name, company name, the episode number, episode title. So all of your text is here that you need to change. Here's your image. Now we need to save it. Okay, so we're going to go to File, Save. And we are not going to save it as a PSD. We're going to call it podcast, and we're going to use PSDT, and the T is for template. So let's go ahead and save that. Okay, so now we have our podcast, and you can see we have a PSDT. Let's go ahead and close this image, and now the next show comes up, show number 218. Because I have a PSDT, I'm going to open it. Here's my podcast PSDT. I'm going to open it. And what you're going to see, it says untitled. So what the template does, it opens up the document, but opens it up as a new document. The original template document remains the same. So any changes we make here does not impact the original file. So when we come in here and let's say we go out and find a new guest, Control S to save, we can close it, and there's our next guest. Okay, and now you can go ahead and save this. Let's say we call it show 218. Okay, and then you can just go ahead and change 218. Let's see, our guest name. Let's call her Gwen Smith. Easy to remember. Call it, what's the name of her show? That Girl Cooks. All right, there's the name of her. All right, and there you go. So as simple as that, we hit save as a copy for a JPEG that you can upload as your thumbnail. But now this original is done. When we close it, the next show you get, you go back to your podcast PSDT, open it, and you can see we have the original.